Hi, I'm Lynn, and welcome to another day at Ewetopia Farms. Here's our first victim, a beautiful Suffolk. All about sounds and listening. You get to know what sounds you have to watch out for. That's why these claiming jugs are very, very important. And this is the mom who's causing us grief right now.
That looks like a baby.
Let's get started. It's another brutally cold day today, but at least we have sunshine. And apparently we had lambs again last night. Lots of them. So let's go take a look. Hi, you guys. It's warm in this room. So whenever we're letting lambs out, it also means that before we let them out, we have to tag them and do all their stuff. And we have to trim and deworm the moms. So I'm just getting a bunch more mums and lambs ready to go. We're still not letting any out to the barns today because it's super cold. Here's our first victim, a beautiful Suffolk ram lamb from Knockout. The clicky sound is worse than the pinch. That's why he's struggling. No lamb is released from the jugs until everything's been done to them. And this ewe is the 24th ewe to have lambs this year. Really hard to read the green paint on the Suffolk lambs. I might just do them red as well. Red shows up a little better. So around here, there's just the two of us working, as you know. So our tasks are divided so that we're each doing something different to save time. And each are doing the things that they're best at. So I'm more the records keeping, tagging, organizing the lambs, and Arnie is the one who does all the hard labor, like flipping the ewes and trimming them. My goodness, who's making that noise? Someone's choking. That's not a cough because she's sick. That's cough. I've gorged on my food a little too fast. It's all about sounds and listening. You get to know what sounds you have to watch out for and which ones are just ambient noise. Yeah, my goodness. Here's the second one in the batch. We're losing our concentration a little bit, aren't we? So they've had their shots, they've had baycocks, tails stalked, recorded, ear tags in, and they've been numbered. The rest is up to Arnie. So the other purpose of coming in here and working with them in the lambing jug, getting them ready, is that's just the first part of it, like giving them the necessities to live on the farm. But so the second part of working with the mums and lambs in these lambing jugs, claiming pens, mothering pens, whatever you call them, it's the space, it's the private space where each mother and lamb gets to know each other and gets us to bond before they go out into a big group. Because when they go into a big group, all the smells are mixing up. There's all kinds of lambs that look just the same, like lots of them, because you know you're dealing with multiples. And you want to make sure that there's a tight bond, so when they separate in the big groups, they can find each other and recognize each other's voice, come when called, you know, all the important things about having a mother-child relationship. But just because we've done all this stuff and she's ready to go now, her lambs are tagged, she just needs trimming and deworming. If, when I'm in here doing this stuff, the lamb or the mom doesn't seem right, maybe the lambs are looking hungry, acting hungry, hunched up, thin, mom's drooping, anything like that is going on that's out of the ordinary, we will leave them in the jug longer, because when they're in here, if there's an issue, we can work on it more hands-on than if they go into a pen and we notice a problem and have to try catch them in a group of others and bring them back to look after them. So that's why these claiming jugs are very, very important. This, in the first couple of days, is where you're gonna usually see all the problems. So by the time you let them into the family group, everybody should be good to go. Not to say that that's 100%. Nothing is 100% when working with animals, but that's the general rule, and it seems to work. And we'll go over to the other lamb in a second, and I'll show you him. Another thing, when we've just marked the lambs in the lambing jug, I've just put her number on her back. So that's a paint can, and it has an odor to it. Some mothers smell that odor and get confused because now their lamb smells a little different. Usually they're getting the sense from the balm in the mouth and they're talking and stuff. And that's another reason we wait till day 2 to tag them. We don't want to interfere with bonding processes. Mom, can we handle that? There we go. And she's sniffing that. She knows it shouldn't be there. But it can also cause the mom to reject the lamb at this point. So once we spray a lamb, we will leave them in the jug until that paint is dried off, and we're certain that the mom realizes that, yes, it is my lamb. She's just got a little tattoo now. It's not a tattoo, but it looks like one, a stick-on one. This mom's okay, but some will immediately start to hit their lambs. So again, we don't want to interfere with bonding processes, and we don't want to release sheep into the group pens until we are certain that bonding is occurring. So earlier we were tagging sheep like this, and number 15 was slated to go out, and while I was in there, they came out to nurse her 2 lambs. You're protecting your lamb from me, aren't you? And immediately I noticed that the mom was hitting the ram lamb. When you're dealing with this many sheep and these many lambs, you can overlook things. So you have to be constantly watching the behavior of your animals. And especially if you come in and the lamb's sleeping, you don't like to disturb them, so you can walk by and maybe not notice. And this is the mom who's causing us grief right now. She should be out in the pen running around. She should be having a good time, and so should her lambs. But she thinks that ewe lamb is the bee's knees. But as she's gotten to know her ram lamb a little better, she's deciding he just doesn't meet her standards and she doesn't want him. So one of Arnie's projects this year is to make a kind of like a pen where she can be tied up 24/7 and be forced to take a lamb. Not her, because this type of thing usually is only a first-timer event. Experienced moms, in 25 years, I have never ever seen an experienced mom reject a lamb. I'm sure it could happen, but I've never seen it. It's usually a first timer, and it's more when they have multiples. It's like dealing with more than one is kind of overwhelming, and that's why we always say that we're happy for a first timer to have a single. And some people probably think we're just saying that because that's what we got, and we're trying to justify the poor numbers. But it truly is a longevity thing at our farm. Like, these sheep are breeding stock. They're going to be around for a long time. So we want them to get off to a really good start, learning to be good moms and stuff. And that's not to say first-time moms with multiples aren't good moms. But you are more likely to run into things like this, where 1 extra or 2 extra are just way too much for her to handle. Like, she just doesn't want them. So if we go in there with her, she'll let him nurse. But when we're away, she won't let him nurse. So what I'm doing is I'm trying to teach him to take a bottle. Sometimes it's difficult for them to take a bottle, and he's just learning to sip on it. But in the meantime, we're keeping him with mom, and we tie her up several times a day so that he can nurse. And we did that last year, and it did work out with a good ending. Not to say that this one will. So that's why, just to be on the safe side, he will also be trained to a bottle, just in case. But if we weren't in the jugs working with them, it might have been too late to notice that. And now we're here. She's going to stay in here until she shows improvement.
So I'm just checking. Just had my lunch. Just checking for some lambs. There's Chewy, no lambs. And there's Toonie, no lambs. Had someone said they wanted the male lamb. If she gave a male, they wanted the male lamb. I'm going to tell you what you shouldn't do. A bad business deal when you say that. 'Cause when you tell me you want the ram, now I know I can bump the price up and you'll still pay it. But that's not the case. If that sheep had a male lamb, I just wanted the male to have a good home. So, but I'm just looking for babies right now. And no one's really in labor. So, everybody looks fine. They look pregnant. Oh, that looks like a baby. So I'll have to get that lamb looked after. So I didn't check the back of the barn yet for lambs. Probably should check that for a second. So these guys got all new bedding this morning. To make sure we keep them dry. When they lay like that right there, that's a lot of big lambs, heavy lambs. They're uncomfortable, eh? But they're getting a little sunshine there right now. Funny why there's no sheep back here. I don't know why. I don't see anybody coming in. So we're going to feed that lamb right there until we get a spot, get one of the jugs empty. And we'll see if she has another lamb, because I'm pretty sure there's another lamb there coming right now. So, oh, sorry, buddy, almost stepped on you. So, this ewe here has a one monster single lamb, and last night she didn't look very good at all. Had cold ears, it wasn't chewing her cud, and I gave her some drugs and some glycol, and in a few minutes we're going to check to see if she's doing better, but she's acting way better now. So I'm going to go and see where we're going to put that new sheep. I'm thinking Lynn's going to let these two in that pen. They're ready to go. She's got two lambs there. She's got a lamb right in that straw patch. Hopefully it doesn't lay on it. I think we'll let these two sheep out. We've been hesitating on that because there's a small lamb there. We're going to let her out and we'll get the Dorset in here.
Did he fall over?
No, I want her there because I want to get her. I got to check on her lamb. Oh, they're so fresh. Chew me yet. It's running all over the place.
It's a good thing normally.
You know the number one thing you ever hate about gloves? Just get them on with a wet hand.
I think I've heard that before. Okay, you guys, no Steelers. No Steelers. Boy, it's cold in here. Stay there, sweetheart.
Keep doing this, eh?
It's okay, honey. It's okay.
That's funny. One lamb.
Sweetheart.
That's okay. Nice female.
It's a really nice lamb.
I have one lamb. I'd rather have a female.
Okay, today we're going to be reorganizing these family groups. Because of the cold weather, we got to do things a little bit differently to adapt. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Dorsets in here right now, and no more to come in here today. So what we're going to do is we're going to put some Suffolks that are maybe a little questionable. We've got one in the front pen with a ginormous lamb and one's a little lamb. So we're concerned and want to watch the little lamb more closely. So we thought it would stand out a little better in this pen. So we're going to bring her in here. And then we have a knockout single who's also a small one. We're going to put him in here as well. We're going to release some twins into the Suffolk pen here. She's a little bit squirrely. She's got 2 nice lambs. She's from Luther. Her lambs are from Luther. Come on, buddy.
Can't be that dumb.
That's pretty smart, actually. So these are going to go into the big group.
I'll leave you there for a second.
Hey, you guys. Your mom left the pen too. Go on, go find her. Go find her. There's another one that was just tagged today. I don't know where her lambs are. Oh, the other side of the gate.
Is that you calling the lamb?
I can try put them back in now.
Just leave him there for a while.
It's a bit of chaos right now. Okay, we've been having a lot of chaos, so it was hard to film today. These are the ones that were just born. She only had a single. She is a real beauty. She didn't want to have anything to do with her till she dropped her placenta, but now she's calmed right down and they're feeling a lot better. The bad thing that's happening right now is we've got a ewe that's been in a jug. We were just about to let them into the family group and noticed that the mother was hitting one of her lambs. So we got a ewe who loves her ewe lamb and she hates her ram lamb. So we tried to adopt him to several others, and actually we had some ewes who looked like they might take him, but he wanted nothing to do with them because he recognized his own mom and wanted to be with his mom. So we tied her up, let her nurse him tied up, which of course she didn't like, but she was also calling for him, which made it even harder because he was wanting her, she was wanting him, but she didn't want him to nurse, she just wanted him around. So we're really hoping that that's not our first bottle baby. These two are having a nice, oh, there we go. You guys are all settled in for the night, it looks like. You guys look lovely. But our family groups are full, both of them now. We got 2 more to go out, 1 in each. but they're full, and we got minus 15 degrees Celsius highs. So we don't want to bring them to the coveralls just yet. It's just way too cold. But we don't like them staying in the jug too long. So my theory is to put Knockout's group in with Luther's. Arnie isn't liking that right now. So we're going to see how that goes. But if we put Knockout's group in with Luther's, there's space now for that. All these ewes that are in the jugs could take their lambs and go in that pen. Just temporary until the temperature warms up a little bit. So the Suffolks that are in with these Dorsets are kind of like the misfits. This mom has a really big lamb and a really little lamb. And the little lamb looks fragile, but actually the little lamb is really frisky. It's just small. So it's just here so it can grow on a little bit. And then that big gigantic lamb, we took him out of the Suffolk pen and we brought him in here because his mom has only half an udder. And we thought we could watch that he was getting enough milk. We could watch her more closely in the Dorset pen because the Suffolks stand out here. Oh, and you see that, Mom? She just lay down in the middle of the pen, wanted to be near her lamb, which you got to give her credit for, but she just plopped right on top of the lamb. Luckily, it wasn't the lamb's head, and she squirreled out, but that was almost a crushing right on camera. And that's in a group pen where you'd think it wouldn't happen.
These are the second group of sheep to come in. And shortly we're gonna combine that Dorset group around the back in with that Dorset group over there, that we can start cleaning this out for new lambs. So we're a little behind on that because of the weather. So I didn't bed these guys up because I'm thinking tomorrow we're going to start taking the manure out of here. But I can just show you the second group there. I don't know if you can see it, but they're already starting to form a little bit of others. So this group here is about 2 cycles later than the first group. This way we can get them all in a heated barn to have lambs. We don't want to have lambs out here. So I'm hoping tomorrow we're cleaning this manure pack out, maybe, if everything goes well. There's not a lot of manure in here, but I want to have everything took out of here, that the lambs have a total clean environment when they come into the barn. I know you can see that second one there. Might be able to see it, but she has a little udder. See there? So that's what the goal is tomorrow. It's freezing extremely hard here today. Well, hard. I've seen it freeze way harder, but at my age it's hard enough. So I felt sorry for this group. So this group is going to stay here for another probably 2 weeks yet. And I gave them some new bedding to make sure they have a nice clean bed tonight. And we're going to remove this and save this for another day, the half a bale. And like I said, this group of Suffolks here are going to go maybe tomorrow or the next day. They're going to move over to the old barn, the heated barn. The Dorsets in the back are going to go over with those Dorsets on that side, combine them, that they make a little bit of heat here for the new lambs that are going this section over here. Pretty hard to have sheep outside in this country. It's pretty harsh out there right now. It's cold. You're standing on complete frozen ground. Ice is snowing. And that's why we feed sheep wrap bales. Anyway, so I better get moving. I got a lot of work to do tonight. They're all our replacement lambs. Ben, come on now. And we just fed them. Yeah, that's our sheep with a half a leg. I felt sorry for her. Didn't have the heart to put her down, but at least she's having a good life. Yeah, I don't know why that happened like that, but anyway, these are all the replacement lambs. So there's about 100 of them in this big barn. So it's nice in here, but it's cold, and I'll show you how cold it really is. And I do love these drinkers, don't get me wrong. I love the drinkers, I just don't like this type. And the reason why is, there's an element right inside here. Okay, that's plugged in. So inside there, the water is melted. But the water has to come through a hole, and if you look at this, see how bad frozen that is? So that's why. See, in this side here, you see, the water is coming through the hole, and I don't like these drinkers. See? So that's what I don't like about these. I like the drink. This is all plastic, and I like the drinkers that have a stainless steel pan. So like I said, if I lift this lid, underneath here, the water is melted, and then it comes out through the hole. If you have enough cattle on here, they're flowing enough water, it won't freeze. But we don't have enough sheep drinking out of here, and they have options to drink over in that drinker over there. So they're not drinking it out of this drinker. You like that old ice cold water? No! So don't like that drinker. So those drinkers are going to be took out next summer. We're going to sell them for half the price probably, is what we paid for them. I'm pretty sure they'll sell. And we're going to change them for this type of drinker. I'll show you. Don't have a door in the back of the barn because I can't justify it, so I just got a bunch of chipboard there for the winter. And we're going to put these drinkers in here. So these drinkers have a stainless steel pan, and there's an element right on the bottom of that pan, on the bottom, and you can see the water's warm. A lot better water, isn't it? So I'm going to change them for these drinkers. Same company. I love that drinker. That's the best drinker I've seen around yet. So we're going to change. We have 4 of these heated ones with stainless steel bottoms, or 3 in this barn, and 1 over there. And that one over there was one of the first ones we bought when we started farming, until we found out about the other type. So that one's going to go out. I'm going to sell it on Kijiji. I'm confident I'll sell it. So get going here. So we just put all hay in the feeders. So that ewe there is abandoning that lamb. I'll let these 2 go in the big pen here. Just open up this door. Come on, don't run. So she can't figure out that door is open. Come on, there she goes. Come on, guys, pay attention. Mom's leaving. Mom's leaving. Come on, Mom's leaving. These lambs are going to have to get a lot smarter than that. Still hasn't figured out the gate yet. Come on. There you go. Come on. There you go. See, the box is kind of a hot little item. It's kind of like a pecking order. Who gets here first? Why would lambs want to lay in a nest up that high? You think they were birds? A couple big lambs right there. Anyways. See all Dorset lambs underneath the manger. A few running around. So I guess I'll check the barn for a few Suffolks there too. So they all have hay. I'm just going to see if anybody's having a lamb, and I'm going to go for supper. See what's happening here. So I just fork the hay out of here with a fork, and I just carry it down, and I just throw a few forkfuls in there. But this is just temporary until we get moving them. So check in here for 5 minutes. So I don't think you can see that, but Chewy's in the back corner there. Pretty suspicious. But otherwise, looks pretty quiet. I think I'm going to be able to have a break for a few minutes. Dorset's looking fine. So. I don't trust that big ewe in the back. There's a big ewe. I don't know if you can see it right there laying down. But I'll be back tonight. I'm probably gonna leave the barn for a couple hours, have a supper, some downtime, and a cup of coffee. So I'm just checking everybody right now. Oh, she's tied up, yeah. She's rejecting her lamb. So I have her tied up with a halter. I wish I had one of those head gates to put her in, just to try to salvage the little lamb's on right now. I don't want to leave the barn like that in case she hangs herself. So I guess I'll just stay back here for a few minutes. Got a few minutes, we can go check out the big Dorset flock here. So we did run out of space, so we put a Suffolk in here too. And there's another Suffolk right there. But when we move that first group to the other barn, we'll pull the Suffolks out of this group. We're just a little choked up for space right now. Oh, I didn't give these guys any jumping bales yet. I told Lynn I was going to do that. See, and that's the ewe there that had, she held on to her placenta, and she has a little bit of discharge there. We did have her on drugs for 3 days, and the way she's eating, I'm going to think she should clean herself up a little bit. That's an extremely small lamb there, Mum. 21. Is that your lamb? Oh, it is 21. At least she's looking. She's got 2 in here. Well, oh, he's still sucking yet. So see, when I tie her up at the halter, she lets him suck. Okay. So if I had one of those head gates, the problem would be is she's not in love with the lamb. The lamb is sucking. and she's not chewing her cud or releasing her oxytocin to release the milk. So you wonder how much milk he's actually getting if she's not dropping the milk. Poor little fella. I know what it feels like when a mom doesn't love you. So I think that's a first timer, and that is a chance with first timers that they can reject a lamb. It happens here anyhow. I don't know if it happens all over the place, but we can have an odd case like that. It's rare that they reject the lambs, but I have seen it. It doesn't happen too often. Anyways, I think she's eating hay right now. Normally you should be able to leave her tied up. But I think I'm going to release her right now and go and have supper.
And on that note, we're going to call it a day.